51 is renowned as a highly secretive.
Oh, we kept driving forward onto private property and boom.
It's like a human body, but it's not.
Today's video will disclose all those civilians who tried their best to show the world a little sneak peek of Area 51.
Aliens, UFOs, secret weapons, all things people think come from Area 51.
So let's dive in, see what they found, and unveil this mystery together.
Area 51.
Area 51.
Area 51.
Area 51.
Number 1. Jeremiah Hasvold. A father-son duo planned their trip to Area 51. On the first day, they saw the gates, explored around a bit, and then drove back.
This is our Las Vegas road trip. Going to check out Area 51 as close as possible.
But on the second day, something shocking happened. They saw a car with a family pass the warning sign. The camo dudes were a few feet away from the car with their guns aiming at the family. The whole family had their hands raised up in the air and their backs turned towards the camo dudes. The man of the family was recorded walking back in slow steps towards the camo dudes. One of them was spotted filming the family. Nobody knows what happened to them, but by the looks of it, it doesn't look very promising. Number 2. Mitch Pierre. This guy with his crew decided to visit Area 51. When they reached the gate, their tire flattened out.
What are the chances of us getting a flat tire right outside of Area 51?
While the crew was busy fixing the tire, the man decided to breach into the gate and was all in to cross the line. He saw the camo dudes sitting in their truck atop the mountain, waiting to strike at the prey if needed, but the man paid no heed to them. He rolled his wheelchair inside, took a round, and then came back. He claimed that the camo dudes looked like they were moving, so he sprinted back. Do you think anyone was even inside the truck? Or did they let him go since the crew was fixing the puncture? Number 3. Kenny Veach. The Mojave Desert is known for its mysterious caves. While it is open to the public, there is only a narrow strip that you can explore. 1 foot out the line, and white pickup trucks will be on you. Kenny Veach was a professional hiker of the desert. He could survive only on a single candy bar and a water bottle.
This is a canyon I just walked up in. Now you can't tell, but my truck is way out there by the mountains at the very end of this valley.
One day, he was in the desert when he came across the M cave. It was a cave that was shaped as the letter M. When he got near, he sensed vibrations so loud that it sent chills down his spine. The man was a hiker, and he had explored many caves, but this got him all worried, so he fled. Now, it is a common theory that the Mojave Desert might have a bunch of secret entrances into the Area 51 facility. Some even go on to say that it leads to a portal to another dimension. When Veach made this news public, thousands of people started asking him for the live coverage, so he went on a hike to find the M Cave. He returned empty-handed, so people started calling him fake. That didn't sit well with him, so he ventured again on a 3-day solo hike. But this time, he never came back. A search operation was started to find Veach, but nobody could find him. His truck was there, but not a single sign of a camping site, or even a drop of blood that would lead to him. In his last video, he was standing near a hole. When the rescue officers searched that area, they found his cell phone, still working, and perfectly placed near the same hole. Even if he had fallen inside, there must have been some clue. But there was nothing. Many people think Veach might have wandered off into Area 51 by mistake, while others think he found a secret entrance and never came back. Number 4. The Secret Ground. A YouTuber went down to the outskirts of Area 51. They mainly roamed around the desert, explored the Alien Research Center, and stamped stickers on random things.
It's cool. Rachel, Nevada. Never thought that I'd actually be standing here visiting this place. One more sticker, this time a holographic sticker.
But near the facility, they noticed a concrete road going further into the desert. Then a bunch of camo dudes went down the road. In the chase, the camo dudes vanished out of thin air. Although the road kept going, the soldiers were nowhere to be seen. But this was not what gave them the creeps. Down the road, in the middle of the desert, was a strange area. Massive concrete blocks towering over the average human height surrounded the small ground, heavily guarded by a fence and a gate. The signs simply read, "Do not disconnect." Could it have been a secret entrance into the facility? Or was it some sort of a power line? Why did it need to be in the middle of nowhere? The YouTubers couldn't figure that out and had to leave. Number 5. Mac Adventures. The Mac Adventures were two YouTubers who were pretty keen on crossing the Area 51 border. Once they did, and even threw a few taunts about how they had crossed the line. Something mysterious happened. In a video, they were at the back gate of the Area 51 that is around 20 to 50 miles away from the facility. The men recorded themselves goofing around and even crossing the line. Just as they were recording, a truck stopped near them, and a bunch of perimeter security guards stepped out. They started acting a bit rough with them and told them to leave. The YouTubers did, but here is where it became strange. They were allowed to let go, but they disappeared from the internet. It was their last video. Another YouTuber tried to investigate the story, and what he found was shocking. The men were ordered by the government to terminate the channel, and they spent around 6 months in federal prison. Many speculate that it was all a stunt, but these YouTubers were at the peak of their career, gaining traction and getting views. Why would they just shut off their channel like that? More importantly, what's the government hiding that the YouTubers had to go to federal jail for goofing around? Number 6. Jörg Arnu. Jörg Arnu was a website creator and a big fan of Area 51. He developed a website where people could swap stories, post satellite pictures and videos of the base, read articles about UFOs, and discuss what goes on inside the facility. While they have gathered intel on the early version of the Blackbird's Tacit Blue and the F-117 Nighthawks, the readers also often get hints to mysterious objects flying in the sky. The man believed that the US military was designing and testing future technology inside the base. He thinks that there is an Area 51 inside the Area 51, hinting at the fact that the secret base might be pretty far away, even in the remote facility. But amidst the discussion, he breached the facility's secrets in such a way that forced the cops to raid his home.
It's like big on YouTube or something? Or?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, okay. What's your channel?
Angry Grandma.
Okay, that makes sense.
Without any notice, federal agents bombarded his home and confiscated laptops, drone footage, backup drives, and even phones. They destroyed the house as if Arnu was a hardened criminal. The strange thing was that they wouldn't tell why they had taken such a drastic step. But they did tell Arnu that there was something on the website that shouldn't have been there in the first place. It is unclear what secret thing was up on the website, but the federal agents did make a power move to silence Arnu. Number 7. Preston. This duo traveled all the way to Las Vegas to storm Area 51. Their plans came to a halt when they reached the gate. The boys made plans to go inside when the guard moved back to his tower. But in that same moment, a white pickup truck was spotted driving down the road straight into their direction.
There's Nick, we should get back in the car.
The boys packed up and went back to their car, only for the truck to go inside the gate. So the boys got ready to start their breach again. This time, a pickup truck was trailing behind them. When they reached the gate, the truck parked near them and agents pulled out of it. They confiscated the microphones and all the SD cards. They followed them out through the main gate and went back. How spooky is that? The boys hadn't even spotted anything, but they fled the scene shortly after. Do you think they were silenced? Number 8. The Dutch YouTubers. Granzier and Sweep were the two Dutch YouTubers who had driven 3 miles into the facility. The guards caught up to the two foreign nationals and questioned their intentions.
We're just adventure travelers. We're just adventure travelers.
Adventure travelers?
They were clear as the day, stating that they saw the no trespassing sign and still crossed the boundary. They did it because they wanted to explore the area. The men were arrested and charged with trespassing. Sadly, their drone footage was taken away, and there is no record of whether they saw something inside. Number 9. Jesse's drone adventures. This guy has been going on multiple trips near Area 51, but one of his videos got a lot of attention. He drove near the front and back gate of the facility. While he didn't find anything peculiar, he did spot a bunch of motion sensors fitted near the gates. These sensors alert the camo dudes and let them know if and when a bunch of tourists are too close to the gate. The siren goes off first, alerting the people to stay away and not to trespass. But if there is still some suspicion left, the camo dudes storm the area and corner the cars for a quick interrogation.
Will Smith Men in Black shit we got going on over here. What is this, like Area 51 Stonehenge?
This guy did all he can legally to get the attention of the camo dudes. But he wasn't very lucky until it was his time to leave. That's when a fleet of pickup trucks were found leaving the area and a white bus carrying the Area 51 workers back to the facility. Plus, there was a lot of activity inside the facility too, with a lot of workers roaming here and there. It could have been that their shift ended, but it could also be that there was some problem that needed the larger workforce. Number 10. Groovy Gavin. While Gavin did not get inside the facility, he did get in touch with a person from the inside. At first, he was only exploring the area around the facility. He found a bunch of abandoned towns near Area 51, which was quite spooky.
Till we found our first piece of evidence of UFOs near Area 51. This has to be an alien crater.
Did they see something that a mass evacuation had to take place? Were they forced out of the towns? If everything around Area 51 was open to public, then why were these towns abandoned? Did they feel any creepy vibrations? It was unclear. Gavin also found a bunch of craters. Some of them were small, but one of them was massive and guarded by a restricted sign. Entry wasn't allowed in there. Was it for atomic testing, or it could have been something else entirely? Gavin wasn't sure. When the crew reached the gates, they goofed around a bit, but then it was time for the serious talk. Gavin got in touch with an ex-employee of the secret base. He asked him questions that nobody has answered before. The worker said that the security used to be so tight that he had to be escorted to the washroom with guards too. But one interesting thing that he revealed was that he also spotted a bunch of aircrafts that were launched with pretty strange lighting systems. Upon asking, he was told that the lights would change the shape of the aircraft to hide its identity while flying. These strange lights may appear out of the world to the spectators or to the average man. Number 11. George Mavrakis. These guys claim that they sneaked inside the facility. You decide if it is real. Two brothers drove up to Area 51 and were stopped by the guards.
Past this line, you're trespassing on the property. That's why the line's there.
They were told that they cannot cross the white line, and a whole fleet of white pickup trucks started popping up near the sign. The boys knew it was best to leave, but what was odd was that the guard told them that it isn't Area 51.
This isn't even Area 51, guys. It's on the other side of the state.
The boys decided to go at night. They changed into army clothes and drove inside the facility, stating that they needed to deliver supplies. They avoided being detected by floodlights and the roaming trucks and creeped their way into a building. An elevator was just a few feet away, so they decided to go into the basement. There, they found a bunch of doctors operating on a body. But the bizarre thing was the glow in the dark fish. The The boys stole a few fishes and raced their way back home without getting caught. What do you think? Is this all an elaborate fake? Let us know in the comments. Number 12. The top-notch idiots. These guys tried to sneak inside the facility in broad daylight. First, one of the members crossed the white line just for fun. The moment he did that, an officer popped up and charged him for trespassing.
Hey, you guys don't have weed on you guys?
The guys decided to enter the area from the back gate. So they drove over 3 hours to reach that point. But in the way, they met a civilian who worked at one of the stores near Area 51. He claimed that he saw a white, flashing light about 12 miles away, zipping across the sky. It came to a point and disappeared. The same thing happened a few seconds later. Another light from the other side flashed in the night sky, traveled all the way to the same point, and vanished into thin air. The boys came to a gate with camo dudes sitting atop the mountains. They decided to take the route off the road. So the boy trekked for more than 3 hours and reached the fence. One of them tried hopping over the fence, but the barbed wire scared him off. Just as the other guy was getting ready to jump over, a bunch of camo officers raided the area and forced them on the ground. They were told that they had crossed 0.9 miles into the restricted area. The boys were charged and jailed for a day. Number 13, Fanatic. This guy wanted to camp at night near the Area 51 base. So he went with his crew to see if the authorities would kick him out.
There's these signs that say open range and it's got a cow on it. Which I guess it just means the cattle roam.
The YouTuber spotted a couple of white cars driven by camo dudes going in and out of the facility, but they weren't too keen to question the YouTuber. The facility did turn on the massive spotlight, causing pain in the eyes, to try and lure the stubborn YouTubers away, but they didn't move an inch. The lads didn't find anything sketchy overnight. By morning, they wanted to spy inside the facility using binoculars, but that plan failed when they found out the store sold them an empty box. So, the YouTuber just touched the stop sign and called it a day. Number 14, Mr. Beast. Who doesn't know Mr. Beast? Him and his crew went a little before the failed raid of the civilians storming Area 51. They went to get a little idea of the area, and what they found was pretty shocking.
In there?
Dude, he's right there.
There's a car.
There's a car. Oh my god. Oh, there's sirens too.
No, the rabbit's about to cross!
The men spent around 24 hours outside the gates, and they were already creeped out. They found scraped metal that looked pretty old in the desert. It is unlikely the government threw something out of the facility, but you never know. As night fell, a strange voice echoed through the air that sent everyone in the crew into a state of visible fear. But here's where it got pretty interesting. The moment the crew took out a telescope to peek inside the facility, the lights were turned off. That's how dedicated the government is to keeping whatever's inside a big secret. Then the crew climbed a nearby mountain with cameras to get a good look inside the forbidden walls. They spotted a watchtower and an entire base, with not a single soul walking on the lands. They ended the video in a hurry after that. Do you think someone caught up to them? Number 15, Desert King Travel and Adventure. This guy decided to explore the abandoned town near Area 51.
Friggin' sign.
The footage shows a bunch of houses lined up on the streets and buses parked out in the garages. The strange thing is that the town is considered semi-abandoned, but there was not a single car on the route nor a person walking near the houses. All the homes were pitch black and left to waste, almost as if they have been abandoned for years. The ghost town didn't even host a single pet. The eerie part is that there is no apparent reason why these towns were abandoned with people's things left behind. There are only speculations. Some say that the aliens abducted the people living here, while others think they were forced out of the area because of the strange sightings above the secret base in Area 51. Number 16. Jerry Freeman. The famous archaeologist was on the hunt for a long-lost inscription that made him cross the forbidden border.
A man with an impossible mission to investigate headed for a government base that is under scrutiny with a plan that is too crazy to work.
This inscription was more than a century old and reportedly in the place where Area 51 stands tall. But the military did not allow Freeman to trek his way into the facility, so he decided to do it in secret. He sneaked into the border of the facility and spent a whole week there, unnoticed. Can you believe that? He couldn't either, but that doesn't mean his trek wasn't adventurous. While on his stay, he didn't spot any aliens, but he did see an abandoned city and a window with a gleaming light. He couldn't figure out what it was. The man had to act as a criminal, escaping from prison, hopping through the fences, and creeping through the ground without risking any lights or guards spotting him. He even saw a crater where the atomic bombs were tested. But the most mysterious thing were the vibrations he felt near the lake. It was almost as if the vibrations were coming from down under, and it all felt like an earthquake. Here is where it got even more interesting. He spotted the LANLL name on one of the signboards. Los Alamos National Laboratories Limited was the one who hid the biggest secret, the Manhattan Project under the carpet. What do you think they could have been cooking there? Number 17. SSS Sniper Wolf. This YouTuber and her friends wanted to see the gate of Area 51.
It's gotta be the road. This looks like it. There's like technology up ahead. Reduce speed ahead. Why? Literally, what's up here? So apparently this road has motion sensor.
They didn't storm inside, but their plans sure made the guards all sketchy. 2 black choppers were seen zipping across the sky seconds after the crew got too close to the gate. Although the crew didn't step a single foot inside the gate, it looked like the choppers were there to send a warning.
Oh, that is so loud. I wish I got that. 2 damn stealth choppers flew in between the mountains. I don't know.
They seemed to have flown from behind the mountain ranges. If their intent was not to scare away the tourists, it could have been some secret mission running behind the mountains. Number 18. Tyler Oliveira. If you want to see one of the most rare footage of Area 51, this is the clip you need to see.
We kept driving forward onto private property and boom.
Oh, double fed? Let's find out.
This YouTuber went on a drive to the secret base at night. It was around 2 in the morning when he reached the gate of the facility. But here is when the shocking thing happened. The first gate popped open the moment the YouTuber reached the gate.
The lights on. There are sirens. Oh, yo, they opened it. They opened the f***ing gate. Obviously. Okay, they just opened the gate.
It was unlike anything that the world had seen before because there is no way the gate allows anyone without proper identification. The man darted out of there and decided to come back in the morning. The same thing happened. He waited 30 minutes for the second gate to open, but it never did. But that wasn't the creepiest part. Why did the first gate even open in the first place, only for him? And twice? What do you think about this bizarre encounter? Number 19. The bus tour. A tour guide was taking 4 to 5 passengers down to Area 51. The plan was to show them around the gates and tell them all about the history and mystery of the facility.
A major mothership. But on May 28th, it happened. Driver Dennis Ryan and his 4 passengers, all of it recorded inside and out. The video shows Ryan and group having a good time, zipping toward the edge of Area 51.
It was a popular bus tour. Many people who came to take this bus ride believed that they were actually abducted by aliens and wanted to find a way to crawl back to their homeland. Others were just curious. In every bus ride, the tour guide lets the tourists know that they cannot cross the line or they would be charged for trespassing. But here is what happened. The tour guide got distracted talking to the tourists and he missed the warning sign. The bus accidentally breached the forbidden grounds and drove for 2 minutes. The camo dudes caught up to the bus and charged the whole bus for trespassing. but the footage proved that it was a mistake and the fine only had to be paid by the driver. Crazy luck, right? Number 20. Gabriel Zean. Gabriel Zean was a pilot who was granted permission to roam the airspace covering Area 51. He went around half a dozen times over the secret base. Sometimes he would be sent back because the airspace was in active testing by the authorities. Other times, he would go on, capture the Groom Lake and the facility from up top and fly back without any hiccup. He was allowed to take pictures of the facility, but never when the base was active. It was always when there was nothing going around.
Go off and go, and then I'll have an alternate plan, which would be either go somewhere else or go the long way around.
But even he couldn't explain what he captured once. While on one of his expeditions, Zean captured a picture of a hangar that was under construction. Back then, it didn't look much, but then the media spotted that the hangar was gone. The picture was taken in April, and it was scrapped in July. There was no other building in its place, nor any rubble left behind. Nobody knows what happened, and it still puzzles the community. That's all, folks. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, send us some love and hit the thumbs up icon and do subscribe to our channel. We would love to have you on board with us. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more.